This time on Low Boost, we're going to take an up close and personal look at the new C8 Corvette. I'm going to compare it to the Supra, and then I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter. I'm here to see the C8.
You're here to see it?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So I am at the Paulus Chevrolet here for a sneak preview of the C8 Corvette. And the excitement is in the air here. There's people already starting to show up. There's Corvettes from all different generations that are already here to see the C8 Vet. I want to see it up close. I really want to compare for what it looks like in photos to what it looks like in person. You know, I want to see, when I ask what other people think about it, and I want to let you guys know what my feel is on it, and if it lives up to all the hype. Here we go. Not only am I really excited to be here, I'm really excited to introduce you guys to Jay.
What's up, guys?
He works at the Paulus Chevrolet. If you guys are in the upstate New York area and you need a car, he does new Chevys, used Chevys, he does even stuff that's not Chevys. So make sure you hit him up and ask for Jay specifically when you come to the Paulus Chevrolet. He'll hook you up.
Thanks, guys. Real quick, because it's not the actual production car, when they actually unveil this for you guys, the front trim piece right here that's black won't be the exact same black color you're going to get when you buy one.
Okay.
Another thing, too, this one doesn't have the LED light package for the engine. So back over here, when they unveil it, you can see the motor through the glass. There's actually LED lights that should be in here. This is not packaged with that one.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different than what you're gonna get.
Other than that, it's gonna look pretty similar.
Pretty close. Yeah.
This place is mobbed now. I think you're gonna unveil it any minute. Let's get ready to see it.
So, welcome to the new Corvette, and without any further ado, we are proud to show you the mid-engine Corvette Stingray. First off, you really got to take a look at this exterior. The body lines of it are fantastic. It still looks unmistakably Corvette, but it is definitely a drastic change, as it should be. You're going from a front-engine rear-wheel drive car to a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. You're going to have to move the cockpit up, and they still were able to keep a lot of that Corvette look to it. First time getting in, let's see what we see. I love this steering wheel. And actually everything's really close. You're just a small hand shift away. You got all Apple, everything's kind of facing you. All the buttons are on the side here. Steering wheel, I like how, like I said before, the steering wheel is flat across the top. So you can see it right through. There's no impedance there. You got your paddles on the steering wheel. Really nice carbon fiber accents. And I'm about 5'10". And I still have a lot of room here, and I think it's got bubbles on the top here, so they'll have a lot of room. And there's people here that were 6'4" that said they fit, so that's good. So this place is an absolute mob in there. There's tons of people here ready to see this car. Everybody likes it. I don't think anybody's banging it at all. And look at all these Corvettes and other GM cars have shown up. I really don't think they would have let my my GMW in, but it still is pretty cool to see all these different muscle cars and Corvettes from different eras here. So I'm very happy with the car. I think it's great. My biggest concern wasn't the looks or the performance of the car, but it really was the interior. Corvette interiors have had a really bad reputation as being subpar and not the best quality. And I want to put that to bed. Now, do I have similar things in my daily driver in my car here that are in the Corvette? I do. I do my window switches and my mirrors are the same ones that you're gonna see in a Corvette. The display screen is similar because it's Apple CarPlay. And a lot of stuff in my GMC Terrain are similar to what you're gonna see in the Corvette, even some of the buttons and some stuff on the steering wheel. But guess what? My interior in this car is really nice. And it's even nicer in a Corvette. It's like being in a Yukon Denali. And those interiors are really nice. The Escalade interiors, those are really nice too. It's a nice interior. I was very impressed with it. The seats are fantastic. You don't need to buy a race seat, especially if you look at those competition seats. The seats are beautiful. So I really think they squashed the stigma of having a bad interior in a Corvette. They were able to make it work. And because they did repurpose some parts of their other cars that are really nice interiors, they were able to make this car for the price that it is. The reason that Corvette has been so successful for so long is because they're able to make a world-beating car for an affordable price. It's also why there's a ton of them. It's also why some people don't want to get a Corvette, because they're going to sell these things like hotcakes, especially the $60,000 variety. There were a bunch of people that I talked to there that don't care for the Z51 suspension package. They just want the base Corvette because they're never going to track it. They're just going to drive it, wear their jean shorts and the New Balance sneakers, and just drive it and go about their day. And that's a lot of Corvette owners. There are a lot of purists and people that want the suspension stuff, but that's why there's a lot of Corvettes sold.
All right, so now let's dig into the comparison between the Corvette C8 and the new Toyota Supra.
First and foremost, its price point. The Toyota Supra is going to come in the low 50s, and even with some options, with the B58 motor, you're still going to get it for less than $60,000. Although GM came out and said, yo, we made a world-beating supercar, bros. Come out. It's going to be less than 60 grand. We're going to beat all your Porsches. And then just drop the mic at the launch meeting. The car that you're really going to want, and the ones you're probably going to see at a dealership, are not going to be 60 grand. They're probably going to be 70 or more. They haven't announced what the Z51 package is going to be, and I tried looking it up, and I asked some of the guys at the dealership. They don't have any details on it just yet. It's going to be at least $6,500. You have Z51 package has better suspension. It has better brakes. It has performance exhaust. It has the track pack where you can do track recording. I don't think the base model has that. It has a lot of stuff, and you're going to have to pay for it. And the base model Corvette, a lot of people are going to want the 3LT. The car that was there that I sat in was a 3LT Z51 package. That car's not $59,900. That car's going to be 70 grand. So you're talking $15,000 difference in car. That's a different class of car. It's a different type of car. The horsepower gap isn't actually as much as you think it is. Even though Toyota is rating their car at 335 horsepower at the crank from the factory, Real Street Performance and That Racing Channel just did a dyno run on a bone stock, brand new 2020 Supra, and it's made 348 horsepower at the wheels from the factory. They also did another run only on a tune. So tune only, 93 octane, and it made 407 horsepower. Pro Tuning Freaks on their Instagram page also just posted a dyno run of their bone stock Supra just on tune and 100 octane, makes 478 horsepower to the tire. Tune only, 100 octane. So I really think we are going to see some big numbers, stock turbo, out of this Toyota Supra. Flip side, I'm not sure if you're gonna make big horsepower gains in the C8 Corvette without adding a supercharger or a turbocharger, just because I think we are at the limit of what the push rod can really do naturally aspirated. The LS7 made 505 horsepower, and you can make close to 600 with modifications, but I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to make much more than that on basic bolt-ons in the C8. The next big comparison between the Supra and the Corvette is that there are people that specifically don't like Corvettes, not because they're bad performance cars, they just don't want to be like everybody else, and everybody's gonna have this car. Corvettes sell like hotcakes. I feel like Rocco in Boondock Saints, where he says, I can't go buy a pack of smokes without running into 9 guys, That's how I feel when I look at Corvettes. I can't drive to work without driving by 10 Corvettes. You're not gonna see as many Supras as you are Corvettes. And someone that buys a Supra wants to be different. The car is gonna look very unique. It's not gonna look like any Toyota or any BMW that's out there. Someone wants to buy that car to be different. And it might be less money and it might not perform the same, but they will be different. As much as I loved the C7, the Z06 and especially I think the ZR1 really pushed the limits of a balanced sports car with that much power. I really don't think, now everybody's different. If I drove a Z06 around a track that I knew very well, and then I drove a ZR1, I don't think I would be any faster in the ZR1 than I am the Z06, because I don't think I'd be able to handle the power, that much power coming out of a front engine rear drive car around a track. That's my own personal opinion. I think I would be able to put down a better time with a base C8 than a Z06, just because it's balanced. They hit the limit of what they really could do with a front engine rear drive car, and I think new GT500 owners are gonna start feeling that too. That's 700 horsepower GT500 front engine rear drive. You're gonna have some problems really putting that power down around a track. The new C8 Corvette does not have any of these issues because of the geometry now that it's mid-engine. You know, Zora knew this in the 60s and nobody could bite the bullet because the purists still wanted it. But once purists really drive this car and track it, they're gonna be like, why didn't we do this for the C7 Corvette or the C6? It's been a long time coming, and I'm really happy that Chevrolet has made the jump and making a mid-engine rear drive supercar. There's been a lot of research and development that they've put into this car. They tested it around the Nürburgring against the 911 Turbo. So that's their benchmark. They want to take that car down. 911 Turbo is almost $200,000 to buy brand new, and it is a phenomenal car. But imagine a Z51 naturally aspirated C8 putting down a better time around the Nürburgring and costing a third of the price. They're gonna have their work cut out for them at Porsche, at Lamborghini, and at Ferrari to try to make a car that is going to be that much better than the C8 and justify paying that much money for it. Now, it's a status thing, because if everybody and their mother has a C8, not everybody can afford a Ferrari, and that's really the difference. But that's really what makes Corvette owners proud. They spent less money than the richer guy on almost the same performing car and can spank them on the street, at the drag strip, or at the track, which is awesome. Which is why I've always had a soft spot for Corvettes, because it is the ultimate weapon. It's like in wrestling when a less strong guy gets a chair and just beats the snot out of the bigger guy because he's got the equalizer, he's got the chair. That's what the Corvette is. And that's what makes it great. So after now sitting inside the C8 Corvette, I've actually now seen the Supra and the C8 Corvette in real life, in person. I saw the Supra at the New York Auto Show. I wasn't able to sit inside of it, but I did get there and get really up close and personal. I looked underneath the thing, I looked inside the wheel wells, I looked that thing up and down. Seeing them both you know, up close and personal, the Corvette's bigger. I feel like the Corvette's bigger. The Supra is bigger than you think it is, but the Corvette is definitely bigger. It's wider. It's just got a nice fat stance to it, and I think that's really gonna help the handling, being wider than the C7 for sure. But definitely as far as new cars go, even if it's gonna be $70,000, there is not going to be a better bang for the buck car out there as far as handling performance as the C8 Corvette. The new GT500 is going to make more power. I just don't know if they're going to be able to put it down on a front engine rear drive platform. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to make 700 horsepower at the wheel in my LS Turbo E36, but I don't plan on going around turns in that thing. That'll be a bad idea. And if I do, I'm turning it way down. Definitely not going to take that on the track. I think GT500 owners are going to have a tough time handling that car. And if I think if the base model at 500 horsepower, they're going to be like, oh, this turns really well. Look at that technology. So really, at the end of the day, it's hard to compare the Toyota Supra to the Corvette C8. The C8's really going to start competing now with the Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Porsche 911 turbos of the world. The Supra really should be competing and is competing with the M2 competition and the Cayman and the Cayman S. And for the price, it really does have better performance, and both in the straight line and in around a track than a lot of those two competitors. It is less expensive than the Cayman. It is similar price to the M2 competition. It's less expensive. It doesn't quite have the horsepower numbers, but so far we've seen the performance be pretty similar, and they're both BMW engines. So there's a lot of similarities between the two of them there. At the end of the day, I think the type of people that would buy a Supra really want that performance and handling. And for them to actually justify buying a Corvette to get the package that they want, they're going to end up spending $80,000 on that, and I think that's going to deter them away, and they'll end up buying a Supra. I do think there are going to be a lot of people that aren't interested in all the performance and handling, and will just buy the base $60,000 C8 Corvette. And those people probably aren't even thinking about the Supra, to be honest with you. They're buying a Corvette to buy a Corvette. Your typical jean shorts and New Balance sneakers, those guys are not buying a Supra, let's be honest. And that's okay. They're both great cars, and they're both going to compete at the top of their game in their respective classes. So thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, stay up to date on all my uploads. Let me know what you guys think. If you thought I missed something, if you think I should add something to it, let me know if you think I was totally off base. In the comments. If you think the video deserves a like, make sure you like it as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.